So when the second Trump administration started, there was a lot of stories about, the new disciplined approach, and Susan Wiles was this Svengali that was going to kind of tighten the chaotic inner circle. That hasn't happened, and that's absolutely what I expected, that would not last very long, because the nature of Trump world is chaos. So we can see that when we see just how you know, every day the New York Times or Washington Post or Atlantic are popping off with a new scoop or exclusive. You know, clearly there's just an endless series of leaks, and there's virtually no media discipline at all. People are just talking freely about the inner workings of the Trump administration. So why are there so many leaks in the Trump world? There's three main reasons. The first one is just a chaotic internal culture. Using unsecure apps, very unclear chains of command, people having direct access to the president. Just a very unclear lines of communication, lines of reporting, and lack of clarity about what's even authorized to do or not do. That's the first one. So in that environment, there's also just a tremendous amount of backstabbing. Factions and people leaking stories in order to embarrass other factions, and inner scene warfare is kind of the coin of the realm in Trump world. So that's one. It's just chaos, fighting, constant pitting one faction against another. The second is, genuine belief. As the war in Iran started to take shape, a lot of people were saying this is a terrible and crazy idea. We shouldn't do this, similar with the ICE raids. So some people were just leaking stories in order to sort of send up signal flares and maybe stop things from happening, or influence the direction of things, or at least provide some level of transparency and truth about what's actually happening, kind of whistleblowing in a way. That's the second reason. Then the third one is just basically covering your ass, right? Like covering your ass, covering your department's ass, staying out of jail. As illegal actions proliferate in the Trump administration, illegally bombing fishing boats in Venezuela, potentially illegal actions in Iran, certainly a huge amount of corrupt actions with, financial deals of extremely dubious legality. People are just worried. People are worried about the future of their own department, maybe worried about their own legal jeopardy, and they're trying to kind of position themselves for a post-Trump world where they might be pulled in front of a congressional committee or worse. So there's a lot of good reasons why there's leaks these days.